Hoagland then has taken this up from the front. Lavresen has work to do. 1.5 laps to go. And Hoagland using the element of surprise here. Lavresen really does have work to do because the bell is ringing and Hoagland's ahead. Hoagland's ahead and Lavresen not gaining as much as he'd like. But here he comes, here he comes. Look at the speed, look at the speed. Lavresen's level, Lavresen's level. Out of turn 4 they come into the home stretch and Harry Lavresen does it. Harry Lavresen does it, it's a hat-trick. Europeans, Olympics, gold, and 3 times in succession. He is now a world champion. And he had to do it the hard way. Hoagland there shows the delight for his colleague. He surprised him. He had a big lead, and Lavresen came from a long way back. Harry Lavresen, for the 3rd year running, is the world champion in the sprint. And he'll remind us that that's the case, with every right to do so as well. It's Harry Lavresen 2, Jeffrey Hoagland 0. Lavresen takes gold. Hoagland, for another 3rd successive year, asked to settle for silver. Grit his teeth, had to dig very deep. Drawing level there in those final turns, edging ahead in the home straight. Hoagland was out of gas by this point, was sitting up. He knew it. He knew it. Lavresen, the big, strong man of the bunch. It's already been a good championships for Jeffrey Hoagland, we know that. Kieran was there on the rainbow jersey in the team sprint as well. But the man of the moment, the last 3 years, Harry Lavresen of the Netherlands. Oh, they're friends again now. As we go from outside to win. And they're still racing to come here in Roubaix. At the end of what has been a fantastic 5-day event. Well, the Madison podium is on the way, and this is how it shook up. We had an early crash, didn't we, involving the Italians. Scartezzini going down. And then he was out to take a lap as well with Simone Consonni. They really raced in aggressive fashion, the Italians, today. Looking for that first title in a quarter of a century for their nation. Kenny de Ketelaere and Robert Gees managed to get up on the podium, didn't they? Kenny de Ketelaere, just like Morgan Neeski, saying goodbye to the sport after today. Ketelaere doing so with a silver medal yesterday, bronze medal today, gold today, going to Denmark again. And Morgan Neeski, 3-time world champion, by Lasse Norman Hansen, who's now a 2-time world champion and an Olympic champion in this discipline. Well, what a year it's been for the Danes. Lasse Norman Hansen and Mikael Mørkøv are 2 riders who spend their entire seasons on the road, but are pretty handy on the boards. They've won another event to add to their World Championship and Olympic Games.
Mikael, Lasse, congratulations. What a year for Madison, what a year for Denmark. Can you tell us a bit more how you feel? Yeah, I feel extremely proud. Les and I, we now won all the international marathon we did, and we won them in quite a different way every time. Today was a very hard race. We was under pressure from the start, so I'm really proud of the partnership I had with Les the last couple of years, and to finish it off with another world title.
Which medal has the most flavor for you this year?
Of course, the Olympic one. This one means a lot because we defended a world title and we finished on a high, but for sure the Olympic gold means the most.
Thank you very much. Congratulations again.
Well, what a couple of superstars. Mirko and Hansen, undefeated, as you just heard, in international racing. Of course, there hasn't been too much of that over the last couple of years, but every time they've won. Now they say they're taking the lap till quite late on this time, but they were consistent through the sprints as well. Race management seemed to be exceptional. No panic when they were behind early on.
Mesdames, Messieurs, votre attention pour la cérémonie protocolaire des championnats du monde piste UCI Tissot de la Madison Homme.
Here are the top three teams then.
The award ceremony of the Tissot UCI Track Cycling World Championships Madison Men.
Les médailles et les maillots sont remis par Monsieur David Lapartien, président de l'UCI.
Same presenting party. UCI President David Lapartien.
UCI World Champion jerseys will be presented by Mr.
Alongside,
David Lapartien, UCI President.
The Mayor of Roubaix.
Place et gagnant de la médaille
Guillaume Delbar.
In third place and winner of the bronze medal, Canada Catalan, Rockies, Belgium.
Kenny de Ketele, Robert. Bronze medalists, and what a way to finish for the Ketele on the podium. Man on the left-hand side there ends his international track career here.
In second place and winner of the silver medal, Simone Consonni, Michele Scartazzini, Italia!
Italy raced with courage today, didn't they? Early crash didn't put them off. They went and took the lap first, were in the lead for a long time. Scartazzini and Consonni, silver medalists.
World champion and winner of the gold medal, Lasse Norman Hansen, Michael Markov, Denmark!
Lasse Norman Hansen, Mikkel Mørkøv, both representing Denmark, both with another rainbow jersey. They've successfully defended the title they won in Berlin. And they've backed up their Olympic gold with a rainbow jersey again. It fits them well, doesn't it? They're certainly deserving of wearing it. The rainbow jersey winners, the world champions, Denmark, Mikkel Mørkøv, Lasse Norman Hansen.
The flowers and the watch.
The Mayor of Roubaix along for the flowers and the watch.
By Mr. Guillaume Delbar, the Major of Roubaix.
I'll be rather used to collecting prizes, these two. Certainly the last 18 months, Danish track cycling in rude health. There are your winners: Denmark, Italy, and Belgium.
Mesdames, messieurs,
And in honor of the winning team, here's the Danish national anthem.
Denmark.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Denmark.
Two of our titles that have been decided awarded then. We've just seen another one decided, haven't we, in the men's sprint. We've got the women's keirin to come up. Another bronze medal to be decided in the sprint, as well as the grand finale, which will be the first ever men's elimination race at the World Championships. For now, the celebrations continue in track centre. And a lovely moment. There's Morgan Neski, who's waved goodbye by his fellow professionals.
Track. Next race up, the final 7 to 12 minutes.
So we're on with the women's keirin finals, and we will begin with the race from 7th to 12th. A couple of non-starters to tell you about, I'm afraid, in the women's keirin finals today. And the two riders who are involved in crashes at the end of that last little bit are not starting. So Yuli Berdugo doesn't start today in the final, and neither does Daria Shmeleva. The draw is taking place. There's Mathilde Gros in the losers final here. There will be no French rainbow jersey in this event. Riders making their way onto the track then. There is Gros up against Bresvenix in the orange. That's Bayona of Colombia. Van Vriesen is the other Dutch sprinter, and Lauriane Jeunesse of Canada.
La Mexicaine, Yuli Berdugo, qui sera partante pour cette finale, place 7 à 12.
So, non-starter, Yuli Berdugo. Playing out from positions 6th to 10th in the end because of the non-starters. Van Riesen. Bayona. Jeunesse. This is Shana Braspenix. And there is Mathilde Gros. Bronze medalist previously at European level in the Keirin. And this is for placing. Same drill as usual. 3 laps with the Derny, 3 laps without. It's just the warm-up, really, in all honesty, isn't it, for the grand final, which comes up straight afterwards, where we'll get our medals and our rainbow jerseys awarded. But each and every rider rides for pride here. UCI points, ranking at the end of everything. Never know which riders are battling for contract, funding. There's a lot of things that we won't know that are going to play here. Who's under pressure to get a result? Who's been told just do your best, it's okay, we go again next time? One more lap of the Derny. Gros, the Frenchwoman, sits on the wheel. Braspenix at the back. And that's who we're watching here, with Bayona carrying the camera. So, disappears. Up above 50 kilometers per hour. How does Gros race this? Do the Dutch try and do a number on it? 2 laps to go here. 2 laps to go. Dutch neck and neck. As we see Braspenix now. Second wheel. Van Riesen losing her position. Bell will go. Bayona moving up. It's still Gros at the front. Gros into turn 1. Still has her lead. Van Riesen has to try and get around her. Van Riesen's trying to do just that. Van Riesen is doing just that. Gros loses her position into second place now. Tries to regain it in the home straight. She won't. It's Van Riesen. It's Bayona. Jeunesse. Then Gros. In fact, who just finished ahead of Jeunesse. Shana Braspenix, arms in the air. Remember that, just the final to get us warmed up. And Mathilde Gros, well, she was at the front for a lot of it, wasn't she? Ended up with not very much. Finishes in 9th place overall. Confirmation: Braspenix, Bayona, Gros, Jeunesse, Van Riesen, and Berdugo, who didn't start. So to the final. The bad news is that there's no Daria Shmileva. Chushenko is there for the Russian Cycling Federation. Godby, Sato, Friedrich, and Kelsey Mitchell, who was so impressive in that next round. Olympic sprint champion. Can she win the keyring? There was Friedrich pissing position 1. And again, with Schmileva not starting, that's a big name out. And there's only 5 riders in this final. Great chance, whoever you are, of getting a place on the podium. It's the fastest bunch race out there. 6 laps. And they will fly to the line. There's Mitchell, hoping to add a rainbow jersey to her Olympic gold medal. What a year it's been for her. Already a bronze as well in these Worlds in the sprint. Mina Sato. Can they do it for the Japanese? Lea Friedrich, champion in the team sprint, the time trial. 2 Germans non-starting today due to illness. All the national pressure on her in the discipline that they dominate, the sprinting. The world title's on the line. 5 of the heavyweights are here. The Derni's on the way to guide them. It's 6 laps in the women's keirin final in Roubaix 2021. So Friedrich will take up the position behind the Derni. We're looking at the camera on board her bike here because that's Sato who's in 2nd position. 3rd position, Mitchell, former soccer player, now Olympic sprint champion. 4th position, you can see Shevchenko as they get to the end of the 1st lap, and Madeline Godby of the United States, 5th and final position. Speed is slowly being built up from around 30 k's an hour to 50 kilometers per hour. We'll see that now. About to become 3.5 laps to go. We reach the pace, the Derni will go, and it will be all open for the battle. Shevchenko's already making her move up. There goes the Derni, 3 laps. Rider against rider. Title on the line. Rainbow bands the prize. Friedrich at the front for Germany. Looking around, being wary, doesn't want to open it up just yet. Might be forced to as they start to come from behind. 2 laps to go. Mitchell makes her move. Godby's on her wheel. Sato, but Friedrich with 1.5 laps to go at the front. Here comes Sato as Friedrich still holds on for now. Sato not quite getting around her yet. Friedrich still there. Friedrich holds on, but here comes Mitchell. She's got quite a bit of traffic to get through if she's to get it because Friedrich's still at the front here. 1/2 lap to go and nobody can get near her. There, Friedrich's still going. Mitchell's drifting. Mitchell's not getting there. Friedrich is. It's one way. It's one way. Friedrich all the way. She's the world champion in the keirin. Lea Friedrich with her 3rd title of the week. She is on fire. Germany, great again. Incredible. They cannot stop winning. 2 of their favourites couldn't start through illness this morning, but Lea Friedrich picked up the mantle, took the responsibility, and took that one on from all 3 laps to go. Nobody else got into that 1st position from the 1st pedal stroke to the last. Lea Sophie Friedrich is a very deserving world champion in the women's keirin. I've lost count with all we've had today, but that might just keep Germany on top of the medal table. Mina Sato takes a silver. And the bronze goes to Yana Shevchenko. Solid week for Shevchenko. Sato trying to buoy herself up. Got silver in the end. Well, we certainly chose the right wheel to put the camera on today, because all the action was behind Lea Friedrich. Simply faster than the rest. 500-meter time trial winner yesterday, and she treated that final as another time trial. Call it 750 meters after the Derny went. Brilliant. Friedrich, Sato, Cheshenko with Gobi and Mitchell 4th and 5th. Schmilova finishing 6th. But Phoenix, Bayona, Gros and Jeunesse the top 10. They're the full standings, as we had the women's keirin from start to finish in one day today. Lea Friedrich, after what started, I'm sure, as a worrying morning for Germany, with the news that Hinze and Karbosch were both ill. And Friedrich, well, she's realizing it all now. 3 world titles this week. We've already had the men's sprint world title decided, but we have a bronze medal still to be decided. This will be the last sprint action of these championships. We still have one endurance race to go, so don't go anywhere yet. But Sébastien Vigier looking for a second bronze medal down the years in the World Championships. Stefan Bürtiger can complete the set. He's had gold and silver. Looking for a bronze here, but he's on a yellow card after relegation in the first round. This is the decider. Whoever wins this 3-lap cat and mouse race takes the bronze, takes the last spot on the podium. Just seen the German sprint women do it again. Can Stefan Bürtiger, world champion in Minsk 8 years ago, do it here? Was beaten by a Frenchman the following year in Colombia, François Pervy. Vigier, a couple of years since his bronze medal. A couple of years since France had any medal in the men's sprint. Bourget was their last world champion. One and a half laps to go now. Bürtiger at the front. Here comes Vigier, really starting to light it up now. Bürtiger has the position. Does he have the speed to take it out there? Looks left, looks right. We'll see Vigier gaining it. It is in slipstream now. Here is Bürtiger, half a lap to go, still in front, but Vigier is gaining, getting half a lap, getting half a bike length up, getting level, coming into the back straight. Oh, and he's won it, and the French crowd go wild. Sébastien Vigier, bronze medal for France. And that's got the home crowd going, hasn't it? Super sprint from Vigier. And they enjoyed it too. They're the showmen, these sprinters, aren't they? And Vigier has put on a show for the home crowd. So the sprinting ends with a bit of French home success. Always good to have the host nation do very well and put in a good championship, whatever you're watching. Adds to the atmosphere, doesn't it? Vigier. Well, he'd been through all the emotions because he was beaten, wasn't he, on the track in that first one. Bürtiger relegated, then came back. And that's how the men's sprint finished up, with Harry Lavresen picking up gold for the third successive year. Same sequence for Jeffrey Hogeland, who was second again, and Sébastien Vigier with a second bronze medal in his career. You can see that there are riders heading onto the track. That's because we have our final race of these 2021 Tissot UCI Track Cycling World Championships. It's the men's elimination race for the first time. Couple of changes to the start list means that Theon Reinhardt comes in to replace the injured Teutenberg. Didn't have to ride, of course, in the Madison. Yuri Leital, Gavin Hoover. A lot of riders who were unable to take part in the Madison with no pairs. It's an absolutely packed start list, this. Jules Hesters races for Belgium. Jordan Barra for Colombia. There's Yassine Chalel. Races for Algeria. Kil Campbell. Then you have Gladius. Look out for him. Karaljok, always a good rider. Rostovtsev. Muniz for Mexico. Jan Vonis. Donovan Gronda. Look out for him. Almost did it in the elimination race in the Omnium. Just misjudged the finale, didn't he? Didn't realise when the last lap was. Behind him, Jules Hesters. There's Lezica. Ethan Vernon also races for Great Britain. Eric Martorell there for Spain. Elia Viviani looking for a world title from these championships. Got to be one of the favourites. Up against the likes of Reinhardt of Germany. Rotem Tena is the first Israeli participant in these championships so far. In any of the finals, there is Viviani, 32, looking to become the first man to win the men's elimination race world championship. All the riders are ready. Tobias Hansen represents Denmark. Yuri Leital there for Portugal, had a really good Omnium. The riders are off. There'll be one lap to get everybody going. Make sure we're all in a bunch. The gun will go, and it will start more or less straight away. Every 2 laps there is an elimination lap, and the aim of the game is not to be at the back. There goes the gun. The rider who is last in the bunch will be eliminated. Of course, it counts to be first once we come to the final pairing. The winner of the 2-up sprint will be the winner of the world title. So the bell rings, first elimination race lap coming up. Just look at the back of the bunch. You know, it's difficult sometimes, isn't it? You're used to watching the front of a race. Just keep your eye on the back, at least for the first 3/4 of this race. It looks like to be the rider from Switzerland, I think, who's gone. Claudio Imhoff is out. Claudio Imhoff out. He looks down at his handlebars. He'll see him flashing. Claudio Imhoff is out of the race. Disappointing one for him. He's up there in the individual pursuit, wasn't he? Beaten into 4th place by Filippo Ganna. Austria relegated. Austria are out. Maximilian Schmidbauer in 21st place. Out of the 22 on the start list. Grondin's got some work to do here. He's looking, he wondered if he was the last rider there. A bit of energy to expend. That didn't sound good. That didn't sound good, whatever that was. I think that was a puncture. That's an issue for Grondin. In the meantime, yellow flag goes out. Yellow flag, mechanical issue. Front wheel puncture for Grondin. Race neutralised whilst Grondin gets some mechanical assistance. New bike needed. Of course, they won't have him out there. You could hear that go. Held it up well enough. Poor old Donovan Grondin had already made that little bit of a mistake there. Off the back looking around. I think that's flat, isn't it? Good work. Good work from the mechanic. Very, very quick work indeed. So he's back on his bike. He'll get back in the bunch and the yellow flag will then disappear. And we'll start again. Just got some encouragement from Benjamin Thomas there in the stands. Came down to give him a little pep talk. Another world title up for grabs here for Grondin, who had one the other day in a superb, superb race that we had in the scratch. So he should be getting back on into the bunch here. One more lap. And then we'll begin racing again. Gun goes, we're off once more. So the bell will ring the next lap and then we'll resume. Looking at Elia Viviani here. Elia Hashimoto is providing the camera. Elia Viviani racing not quite at the front, but in the middle of the bunch. So the bell rings. Next lap is an elimination and we get on with the job. Switzerland and Austria already eliminated, remember. Danger at the back for Argentina. Lezica. It might be him who goes. Let's see. I have a feeling it's the Argentine. Lezica's out. Adios. Goodbye. Sit down. Off you pop. Sees his handlebars flash. In the meantime, still in the bunch. And there's a gap open up and there's work to do for the rider from Mexico now. Might have the speed here, but it's going to cost a lot of energy. Let's see. This early on as well, you don't want to be caught down the bottom of the track. I think that was the Mexican rider who was eliminated nonetheless. That is Jose Muñiz. Jose Muñiz Vasquez off and out. Campbell down the bottom there for Trinidad and Tobago. Probably just needs to move a little higher up. Algerian rider in danger as well. And Hoover of the United States getting higher. Campbell following, and that's the place to be in because at least you've got room to move up if you have the speed. There's a real sprint at the top here. Look out for those at the bottom. Yep, that's going to be close. That's going to be close. And I think the rider from Japan was caught out in the middle of that. Yep, those able to move up, even though it cost them a bit more energy, had space to go into. Big key to riding this race is not to be caught up towards the bottom or in the middle. It's a real skill, and Hashimoto's paid the price. Some riders prefer to ride this from the front and stay out of trouble. Vernon's doing that. Same with Viviani here and Hesters. Grondin now. Trinidad and Tobago out this time. Akil Campbell has gone. Bell rings. Parra at the back for Colombia. Out for Gladiush, the rider from Ukraine. Again, riders towards the bottom, looking around nervously whilst others accelerate around them. And that might be the former World Madison champion, I think, Theo Reinhardt. Probably put on the start list for this last minute. He was. It's a frustrating weekend for him with Teutenberg breaking his collarbone, his partner yesterday in the Madison. Unable to have an attempt at getting that Madison world title back, and today having a hit out racing, only finishing in 16th place. They move up again. looked to be the rider from Belarus, I think. Belarus, Yauheni Karalyuk. Bell rings again here. Bit of pushing and shoving, argy-bargy towards the back. That's Hesters, who wasn't very popular with Gladius. Now, who's going out? Who's going to survive? Looks to be Parra, I think, who's gone. But there's trouble for the Czech Republic at the bottom. Think he was just safe. It is Parra. Goodbye. Your time is up, mate. Bell continues to ring. Gladius has put in a lot of energy into the fighting there with Hesters, and he's having to recover the gap. There he is in his blue and yellow. He's really struggling, isn't he? Really struggling. Might still get into the slipstream. Hesters is going to sprint around a little higher up, and Gladius is gone. Gladius is out. That's the clearest elimination that we've had so far. Good enough for a 13th place from the man from Ukraine. Jules Hesters for Belgium in the front. This was Gladius in the sprint before. Oof, it was getting pretty hectic, wasn't it? Moving left, moving right. Bell has rung here, and we're off for another elimination. Look out towards the back with Martorell, the young Spaniard. But it is the Dane who can't hack it, I'm afraid, this time. It's Tobias Hansen, who's 12th. 11 riders remain in the first men's elimination race at the World Championships. Chalel of Algeria, who playing quite a clever game. He survived each time. He's hanging around towards the back here and bunched in a little, or rather boxed in at the bottom. Grondin's in a little bit of trouble, but he has space to move up, surely. He does so. The man who was right at the bottom of the track. Again, we're seeing that being a real issue. Jan Vones of Czech Republic. Always give yourself somewhere to go. Riders left. Big fight at the back here. Hesters, I think, might be struggling. Oh, but there goes Chalel. He was a little further off the back. Chalel finishing in 10th place for Algeria. Leitao now moving up. Hesters. He's bumping shoulders with everybody, isn't he? And that was Vernon this time of the United Kingdom. Great Britain, I should say. Vernon's going to have to work hard to get around him. Let's see, let's see. Look down at the bottom of that track as well. It's the Spaniard or the Israeli. One of the two. And it's the Israeli rider who's gone, Rotem Tena. That was a tight one for Eric Martorell. Having a good week, isn't he, the young Spaniard? Really good week. 8 left. Martorell moving up now. White jersey on, Spanish flag across his chest. Making sure it's not going to be him this time. It might be Viviani. Oh, it could be. And was he asleep there? Was he asleep there? Let's see. Ooh, just getting ahead of Gavin Hoover. That was close. That was very close for Viviani. Made one of his characteristic trademark sprints there. Oof. 3/4 of a wheel. Pulled out at the back again, Viviani now. Getting faster and faster this race with the world title up for grabs. 7 about to become 6. Viviani coming around the 8 side. This time it's Martorell, who's I think is going to have to settle for 7th. 6 stars remain. Italy, France, Portugal, Belgium, Great Britain and Russia left. Hesters still unhappy with something. He's not won any friends today, the Belgian. up there. And then here's the Russian rider having to come around, Rostonev, but at the bottom, it's the British rider who's out, Ethan Vernon, and he does so with a shout up to Hesters. Does he have anything to complain about now? Both sides. It's the Russian rider who's getting a shout this time. Bell rings, 5 to go, about to become 4. Rostovtsev. Second wheel, Viviani taking this out from the front lead. Tal. Hesters has got a big job to try and get around. Hesters coming around the inside. He won't do it, he won't do it. He's out. 4 left. Jules Hesters is finally going to sit up and realise there are 4 riders now remaining. Bell rings again. Lee Tal wants to take this up. And he's going to take it up from a long, long way out here. Grondin versus Viviani, who might be getting boxed in. He's got to go around the 8 side. Donovan Grondin not going to survive. No podium for France. No podium for France. Oh, that's a sickener for the home crowd, an absolute sickener. And then there were 3. And Rostovtsev, not sure he's got it. Well, he's going to be out, I think, here. Pulls off. So Rostovtsev is going to have to settle for bronze. And we have a similar situation to what we saw yesterday with Donovan Grondin. A very similar situation. This isn't a sprint lap yet. Now the bell should ring in a moment, because this is Rostovtsev eliminated. And here we go. The grand finale, approaching the last lap. It's Juri Leital, Elia Viviani for a world title. And it's the young Portuguese who has a right all go. He's up against Elia Viviani, the grand old name who's still going. And here comes Viviani's speed into turn 3. He's going to get catapulted out of turn 4. Viviani's there. Viviani to the line. Elia Viviani, campione del mondo. Glorious. This is what he came for. And Italy, yet again. Elia Viviani is the first elimination race world champion amongst the men. Juri Leital picks up the result of his career in second place. Silver medal for Portugal. And that is a bronze medal for Sergei Rostovtsev of the Russian Cycling Federation. And what a way for these World Championships to finish. Elia Viviani flies the Italian flag high. And it's a rainbow jersey, as well as Portugal able to take their prize. Second place for them. Oh, that medal table is going to look good for Italy, isn't it? Haha. And there's his partner, Elena Cecchini. Both professional cyclists, both representing Italy. It's not been an easy couple of years for Elia Viviani, as well as what we've all had to cope with. For him, it's coincided with a change of team, relative lack of form. Looks like he might have hurt himself in the process, but that's the end of the season for Elia Viviani. You might have thought he could have been up for the Madison today. Italy changing their team up, ending up with a really good silver medal. They've taken gold here with Viviani, who races to take a rainbow jersey. He showed he's still got it. This is how it ended up with the men's elimination race. Elia Viviani winning the rainbow jersey. Yuri Leighton of Portugal in second. Sergei Rostovtsev of Russian Cycling Federation finishing third. '22 took part. Viviani, the top of the tree. Right then, some prizes to give out. Let's get our first bit of reaction to what we've seen. Here's Lea Friedrich.